Assemble! Stay dandy, baby. Greetings, my fellow Pokemaniacs, and welcome back to Pokemon Month, the best time of the year where I spend my time making Pokemon-themed videos. And this year is going to be a very special one, because we are 1 month away from the release of the 8th generation of Pokemon games, Pokemon Sword and Shield. These games have been known for drumming up a lot of controversy.
And so what that means for Pokemon Sword and Shield is that players will be able to transfer their Pokemon from Pokemon Home only if they appear in the Galar region Pokedex.
Bullshit!
Me, myself, I'm going to reserve my judgment until I play the actual game itself. What I will say as a longtime Pokemon fan, I am very excited. So make sure to stay tuned for the channel for more Pokemon themed videos. If there's a Pokemon video that you guys want to see, tell me what it is in the comment section below. And of course, before you watch the rest of the video, make sure to give this video a big ol' thumbs up. So today's video is going to be all about Sun and Moon Generation 7. The last time I counted down my top 10 favorite Pokemon from the first 6 generations of games, and that was also leading up to the release of Pokemon Sun and Moon. But I never got around to counting down my top 10 favorites from Generation 7, the tropical Pokemon of the Alola region. And that's what today's video is all about. Just a couple of rules. There really aren't any rules. These are just the Pokemon that I really love from this generation and from this game. I'm not really taking stats into account or anything. These are just really the Pokemon that I love. There's a few more Pokemon I'm also going to exclude from this list, such as Ultra Beasts and the regional variants. Those could be videos all on their own. These are simply the unique Pokemon which appear within this region. And make sure to keep in mind that some of your favorite Pokemon probably aren't going to make it on this list. However, if you do have any favorite Pokemon from Generation 7, from Sun and Moon, tell me what they are in the comments section. And I'd love to see your top 10 as well, and maybe even the reasons why you chose those specific Pokemon. With that in mind, my friends, let's go ahead and kick off Pokemon Month. These are my top 10 favorite Pokemon from Sun and Moon Generation 7. Sun and Moon introduced a lot of tropical-styled Pokemon, so you can imagine my bewilderment when I came across the surprisingly terrifying Bewear. Its name is an amazingly fitting pun because Bewear is a friggin' serial killer. While it resembles a cute and cuddly teddy bear, it is in fact an absolute powerhouse of a Pokemon. At first, I was unimpressed with Bewear. It was actually its appearance outside the games that made me fall in love with the living embodiment of fluff and pain. As a huge fan of Smash Bros., it was great to see it make an appearance in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, using Ryu's signature Dragon Punch attack. However, my favorite thing about Bewear is its appearance in the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime. Its borderline obsessive relationship with Team Rocket, and the fact that this thing is an Ultra Beast Slayer. I nearly crapped my Pokemon underoos when I saw this pink lummox take down Pheromosa. You can't judge a book by its cover, and you can't judge a Pokemon by its design. Generation 7 introduced some truly creative Pokemon, and each generation introduces a new unique type combination. And that brings us to the Poison Fire type lizard, Salazzle. This Pokemon is interesting for a number of reasons. One, it is the evolved form of Salandit, but only if that Salandit is a female. And two, it has the typing of Poison and Fire, which no other Pokemon currently has. But that's not all. Salazzle is a mean mamma jamma because this Pokemon keeps its own personal harem army of male Salandit. This bewitching lizard's type and Pokedex entry leaves a burning impression in my mind, and that's why I love it. There are a lot of Pokemon that are based on real-life fish. A freaking lot.
That's a lot of fish.
But every once in a while, one pops up that manages to impress me. In Sun and Moon, that Pokemon was Wishywashy. Yep, a tiny little sardine with a truly amazing ability. At first glance, Wishywashy seems like the most uninspired water-type Pokemon. However, when this little guy reaches level 20, it gains the ability known as Schooling. This allows Wishywashy to change forms, but not in the traditional sense. Just like Aquaman, Wishywashy calls all of its fish buddies to come together and form a school of fish, transforming into a massive, horrifying monster. You would think that by hundreds of Pokemon coming together it would be considered cheating in a real Pokemon battle, but who cares? Let's throw logic out the window and appreciate the epicness of this school of fish. Necros Mah is the coolest Digimon ever. It just happens to also be a Pokemon. Necros Mah, the legendary psychic type, has a crazy alien-like appearance, and it also has the distinctive ability to assume many forms. Necros Mah is a high-concept Pokemon, which is based around the concept of prisms and light refraction. In fact, Necros Mah is like a physical manifestation of a solar and lunar eclipse. This is made even more apparent by having the ability to fuse with both Solgaleo and Lunala, which represent the sun and moon respectively. While in this form, it can transform yet again with the unique ability known as Ultra Burst, allowing it to become Ultra Necros Mah, a glowing radiant psychic dragon composed of pure light. Is it an Ultra Beast, a legendary Pokemon, or all of the above? All I know is, it's an awesomely designed Pokemon, which has quickly become one of my favorite legendaries from the series. Some of the best Pokemon are usually the result of an amazing pun, and that brings us to the shadow boxing mythical Pokemon, Marsh Shadow. Despite its cute and small appearance, Marsh Shadow is a fearsome and powerful Pokemon. It is also unique for having the typing of Fighting and Ghost. No other Pokemon has this type, which makes it all the more interesting. I've always been a fan of Ghost Pokemon, but being one that can throw down at a bare-knuckle brawl makes it all the more intriguing. Marsh Shadow is also the only Pokemon whose type combination is unresisted by any currently existed Pokemon. Looks can be deceiving, and while Marsh Shadow might be huggably cute, it can knock you out with a single destructive punch. But get ready, because Marsh Shadow is not the only ghost Pokemon on this list. My number 5 choice is a tragic and disturbing ghost fairy type that is both cute and creepy at the same time. That's right, it's Mimikyu. If Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre had a Pokemon, it would be this guy right here. Mimikyu is memorable because it is a Pokemon no one has ever seen. While it resembles Pikachu, that is actually just a costume it's wearing. It wears it because of the popularity of Pikachu, thinking that its disguise would allow it to make friends with people or its unsuspecting victims. Supposedly, if anyone actually sees Mimikyu, it could cause a mysterious sickness or even a slow and painful death. Even by Pokemon standards, that's pretty fucked up. A lot of the appeal of Mimikyu comes from wanting to know what it really looks like. It's kinda like wondering, what does Diglett's lower half look like? What does Cubone resemble without its mother's skull? And is Jinx just Mr. Popo in drag? It's freaky, spooky, and incredibly mysterious, and that's the sign of an amazing ghost Pokemon. You thought I was done with the ghosts, right? Wrong again, Poke people. Coming in at number 4 is the Archer Owl, Decidueye. The final form of the grass starter Rowlet, Decidueye was initially my favorite starter Pokemon from Sun and Moon. Firstly, its design is just perfect. A badass owl modeled after Robin Hood who hides in the shadows like a ghostly assassin hunting its prey. Sorry, Noctowl, I love you, but Decidueye is a bona fide badass of a Pokemon. Next to Venusaur, Decidueye is my favorite grass starter. When it comes to a cool, sleek design, nothing outdoes Decidueye. In fact, I feel it's one of those Pokemon where its design is just simply perfect. It's the sniping ghost with the most, but it's not my favorite starter from Sun and Moon. Speaking of which... prepare to snap into a spicy Slim Jim, my friends, because body slamming his way to my number 3 spot is the fiery King of the Ring, Incineroar. My love of Incineroar is unique, because I never really liked him that much in the games. It wasn't until I played as him in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that I began to appreciate the over-the-top nature of the wrestling heel that was Incineroar. Incineroar's reveal trailer was simply legendary. It opens with Ken from Street Fighter bodying Little Mac when suddenly we see a POV shot of a mysterious fighter which suddenly charges into the ring wearing a robe, only for it to slowly burn away, revealing the massive barrel-chested frame of Incineroar. He then proceeds to murder Ken like a fucking Mortal Kombat character.
Fatality.
The creator of Smash Bros., Masahiro Sakurai, is a genius at perfectly presenting and representing the fighters in his games. And Super Smash Bros. Ultimate breathed so much personality into the big fire cat. Every Super Smash Bros. Game introduces a new Pokemon character, but this time it was doubly awesome as Incineroar fights like a glorified grappling wrestler. He is essentially the Zangief of Smash Bros. The long and short of it is that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate made me appreciate Incineroar, and now I love him even more in the actual games. He's big, dumb, and amazing, and that's why I love him. When it comes to Pokemon I like, bug types tend to be on the lower pole of the totem for me. That's not to say that I don't like a lot of them, they just tend to not blow me away. That is until the genius people at Game Freak decided to take the bugs from Starship Troopers and make one into a Pokemon. That's right, my number 2 favorite is the bug electric type, Vicavolt. I was immediately hyped when Vicavolt was introduced, so you can imagine my disappointment when I learned that you can't even get one until close to the end of the game. That being said, when I finally got one, it left a shockingly big impression. When it comes to special attack stats, Vicavolt is a glorified railgun of destruction. It also has one of my favorite shiny forms of any Pokemon, sleek, silver, and green. With its super speed, electrical attacks, and giant scissor-like mandibles, Vicavolt is a brutally awesome bug Pokemon. Here's a fun fact about me. I love horror movies, and one of my favorite genres of horror comes from the ancient folklore of the werewolf. With that, you've probably guessed, but my favorite Pokemon from Generation 7 is Lichen Rock's Midnight form. That's right, I see a bad moon horizon when it comes to this Lycanthrope Pokemon. Lichen Rock is immediately awesome because it has 3 distinctive forms. When Rockruff evolves, it can become one of 3 different types of Lichen Rock. During the day, it evolves into its midday form, Lichen Rock, which essentially is just a normal-looking wolf covered with a bunch of badass spiky rocks. When a Rockruff has the ability Own Tempo, it becomes Dusk Lichen Rock, but only when it's evolved from 5 to 5:59 p.m. But at night, when the moon is full, it evolves into the wickedly awesome Lichen Rock Midnight form. Please note that when it comes to stats, Midnight form Lichen Rock is not really all that impressive. Really, I love this Pokemon for its design and characteristics. Unlike the other Lichen Rocks, it stands on 2 feet, has massive clawed paws, and even has red glowing eyes. This is first and foremost a werewolf Pokemon. With the right combination of Pokemon, you could even have a Halloween-themed horror team. Sometimes a Pokemon doesn't have to have the best stats or even be the most powerful. Sometimes it can just be something you love. So let's all howl at the moon for my number 1 pick, Lichen Rock Midnight form. And that, ladies and gentlemen, were my top 10 favorite Pokemon from Generation 7. Did any of yours make the list? What's your favorite Pokemon from Sun and Moon? Let's discuss it in the comments section below. Like I said earlier in the video, if there is a Pokemon video you would like me to do, tell me what that is in the comment section. If I have the time, I will try and get around to it. And please stay tuned for the rest of the month. Every single week, there's going to be at least one brand new Pokemon-themed video, mostly releasing on Fridays. Remember, this is all going to be leading up to the release of Sword and Shield, so there might even be some Sword and Shield discussion videos, and it also happens to follow on the same month as Halloween, so expect a Halloween-themed video as well. Basically, what I'm saying is, I am really pumped up for Sword and Shield, despite the fact that a lot of people seem to be pretty indifferent about a lot of the big changes that they're making, and even some of the omissions. As a longtime fan, I'm really excited to see what this generation is going to do, and how it's going to differentiate itself from the previous games in the series. So, let's have a big discussion all about that in the comment section below. As I also said, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this and more Pokemon-themed videos. And with that, my friends, I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay damn, baby.
You didn't list your favorites yet, though.
I'm doing the end.
I know, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Fucking, oh my god. I'm gonna record this now.